Whether your child is 5 or 15, their friendships shape who they are more than they realize. Proverbs 13:20 says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." Every relationship either pulls your child towards Jesus or slowly drifts them away. You know this, even in church circles. Not all friendships encourage godliness. That's why it's vital to help your child recognize that friendships aren't neutral. They're powerful influencers for good or for harm. So what do you do? This is the big question as a parent. Do you protect them and keep them and not let them talk to anybody without your approval? Or maybe you should try other things. Like, for instance, start with prayer. Prayer is where the journey begins. Ask God to bring wise, loving, Christ-centered peers into your child's life. Pray for their hearts to be open to godly influence and for protection from friendships that would damage their character. Simple prayer ideas would be like praying this: Lord, bring friends who love you and encourage my child to do the same. Or protect their heart from relationships that lead to harm or compromise. Or help them to be faithful friends to others. Teach your child to pray about their friendships too. Show them that God cares about who they spend time with and that He wants to help them make wise choices. When opportunities arise, help them look for like-minded peers. This could be at church, in youth group, within the community, or even at school. These are opportunities or activities that can nurture their faith and character or not. Not only that, but you need to put your kids where good friends grow, where there are good friends. If you want your child to build a lasting Christ-centered friendship, they need to be planted in environments where those friends can flourish. This means making church, youth group, faith-centered activities part of their life. Don't underestimate the power of a consistent community either. When kids see the same faces every week after week after week, trust grows naturally. Over time, these settings become a safe place where spiritual bonds can deepen. And we need to be careful that we do value consistent long-haul relationships. And you got to commit to the long haul. Churches go through problems. Schools have issues, different teachers. All of these things don't develop overnight, but they do happen in our life. And having good, godly relationships, no matter where you're at, are important. They grow through shared experiences of struggles, maybe even inside jokes, conflicts that can be resolved, and faith walked out together. We need the long haul to teach these things to kids. And parents too often take their kids out of these situations. Protect, helicopter, lawnmower protection. They do this and they actually don't help their kid realize that these people are not honoring God and should not be close friends. Even in sports or other activities that there's competition, they teach children what's important. This is where Proverbs 27:17 reminds us of this great truth. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Faithful friends are forged in time-tested places. This is why we at Shepherd Thoughts have a whole playlist dedicated to help you disciple your kids. It's called Start Here, Disciple Your Kids Under 12. Feel free to subscribe, binge watch. These are here to help you and remind you of great ways to make disciples with your kids. This is why we exist. We want you to be obedient to God's command. But not only do we need to do the first two things, we need to spot Christ-like qualities in others and talk about it. Your child doesn't need perfect friends, but they do need friends who are moving towards Jesus. Talk together about what it looks like to be a faithful follower of Christ. Point out a few of these qualities, like, for instance, kindness, Do they treat others with respect? Rather than just telling your kids, hey, don't mess or don't talk to that person. Ask questions like, do they treat others with respect? Or maybe we're checking on honesty. Are they truthful, even when it's hard? Another one is we want to check if they're encouraging. Do they build others up or do they bring drama? Another thing to check is, are they faithful? Do they stand by their friends or do they run? Another great character trait is humility. Are they teachable? Are they willing to admit their mistakes? When we contrast this with friendships marked with gossip, constant drama, disregard for God's ways, we are helping our child understand that while we can be kind to everyone, their closest companions should help them grow in faith and not pull them away. Not only this, but we need to model a healthy community. The friendships that you model, that you speak loudly of, teach your kids a lesson. Do your kids see you making time for relationships that nourish your soul? Do they see you forgive? Be reconciled. Celebrate others. Are you willing to invite them into this community of life with you? Involving your children when you host Bible studies or serve others or gather with other Christian friends or followers of Christ, you are letting them see that friendships centered on Christ are joyful, are life-giving, even are worth investing in, because this builds spiritual bonds. One of the most powerful ways to nurture spiritual friends is to create shared faith experiences. Here are some of the ideas to help you, your children, your friends grow together. Maybe memorize scripture as a group. It is fun. I have a group of people right now that are memorizing Ephesians chapter 6, and they're saying it together at church. It's kind of fun. Another way to do it is serve in a food pantry or a community event together with church friends, Christian friends. Invite friends to be part of your family in worshiping at church or in a church service. Maybe hosting a monthly kids devotional night or Bible club where the kids can share what they're learning and they can do Bible club together. When kids learn that faith isn't just something to do on Sundays, but it is something that you share with your friends, it becomes part of who they are. And this helps them have the ability to navigate the hard moments. Even the best friends will experience conflict. You need to equip your child to handle these challenges in a Christ-like way, teaching them to forgive quickly, showing them how to ask for forgiveness when they're wrong, helping them recognize that a friendship maybe is unhealthy or harmful and they should be careful, encouraging them to set boundaries with kindness and respect. We have even role-played common scenarios and discussed how to respond, reminding our kids that Jesus calls us to love others well, even when it's hard, and that He gives us grace, and so should we to others. Helping your kids choose faithful friends takes time, intentionality, but it is one of the greatest investments you can make in their spiritual growth. We need to pray consistently, right? Commit to environments that nurture godly relationships, model healthy community, and walk alongside them to help them learn to build relationships that honor Christ. And as you do this, you're going to give them a foundation that can last their whole lifetime and even other generations. If you want to personally grow in your ability to make disciples, we have these videos, but we also want you to check out the 7M Discipleship Blueprint link. It's below. We're here to help you be obedient to God's command as a follower of Christ. And I know that you can do it and that I am praying for you. God bless.